I love Nintendo. Hell, I originally started this channel to afford the Switch too. That being said, Nintendo doesn't love us, especially with their recent decisions as of late. Yes, breaking Switches for mods is dumb, yes, Welcome Tour should have been free, and yes, Mario Kart is not worth the insane price. However, as scummy as those decisions were, it did kind of feel like Nintendo was just trying to keep up with the industry. I'm not defending them, no way, it's really dumb. I'm just trying to explain what their reasoning could have been, even though realistically it's probably greed. That being said, Nintendo has done something recently that is undefendable. Something that they could not profit from, but they implemented anyway to make their games less fun. Something that I would genuinely call the Mario Kart World Online update. Okay, quick disclaimer, I don't own a Switch 2 or Mario Kart World, so a lot of this is just things I've gathered from like general opinion and consensus. So take everything with a grain of salt. Also subscribe. Okay, so Mario Kart World, this game looks insanely fun and polished and also incredibly mishandled. So the game takes place in this open world now, which seems to work perfectly with this new Knockout Tour mode. However, a lot of people are criticizing the classic Grand Prix. Instead of doing 3 laps on every course, you do 3 laps on the first course, then only 1 on the other 3, and instead you get to drive to your next course. You know, the part every game cuts out. Actually, apparently it's really cool and novel the first couple of times, and then you start doing it over and over and over and over again, and they're usually straight lines, and because Grand Prix wasn't really designed for things like that, it can slow the game down, compared to Knockout Tour that was designed with these intermissions in mind. Now, there were loopholes that allowed you to skip the intermission and do 3 laps. When you're offline, just go into versus mode and mess a bit with the settings, and online, okay, well, that worked a bit differently. You'd have to pick the nearest course and then drive there, but if you wanted to skip the drive, you'd have to pick random. Sure, you don't get to choose the track you want, but at least you have 3 laps, an eye for an eye and all that. So sure, it's inconvenient and a fix for a problem that shouldn't really be there, but it's something. That was, until update 1.1.2, Nintendo released a patch adding intermissions to random! You know, the thing everybody was trying to avoid! Okay, yes, you can still get disconnected tracks and do 3 laps, but it's not the priority anymore. From what I've seen, it's more likely to pick an intermission now. So why would Nintendo do this? They don't get any money from this, they're not charging for this. In fact, they're probably gonna make less money because people are gonna stop playing online. So why would Nintendo do this? People found a loophole to make their games more fun? They can't do that! Only we should know how they enjoy their games. Same thing with the whole breaking consoles for mods. Nintendo doesn't want to admit that people prefer to play games a different way than intended. Okay, yeah, no, I'm definitely a part of the problem. I can guarantee you I will be picking up a Switch 2 as soon as I can, alongside Mario Kart World, because this game looks incredible. Also, this isn't in the script, but the soundtrack is amazing. The soundtrack is probably like one of the best video game soundtracks like I've ever heard. And so there's a new Donkey Kong game, and the Cyberpunk port, and Nintendo Switch Welcome to... Yeah, maybe not that one. Because I love Nintendo the game developers, but Nintendo the company is coming close to becoming the Disney of gaming. I just wanted to talk about this update. Super disappointed in Nintendo. Even though I know this video won't change anything, and gaming in general is in a worse place than ever, I don't know, I'm just sad.